Well, we are continuing live coverage of the 8th annual H&H Sign Supply Fall Brawl Spectacular. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. I am Jeff by Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the broadcast booth, and then race number 3 winner, Kaleb Hall, going to join us in this broadcast booth. We get set for our 75-lap LCQ, the last chance for these drivers to make it into the Thursday night Fall Brawl. And Bill, as you like to say, the price of poker has gone up because this is it. This is your last chance to make it into the race. You got to be top 3.
This is the last shot. This is all you got. You got to get up there and you got to make sure you qualify into the race right now. You got to be in the top 3, and if you don't, you're done. All the work you put in, all the setup time, all the laps that you run around this racetrack, all for naught. You want to be there tomorrow to get an opportunity to win that race, or at least do well in that race, and you got to do it right now.
Absolutely. Kaleb Hall going to join us right now. Kaleb, you won heat race or qualifier number 3, so you are locked into Thursday night. That's going to be a little bit of a relief not to have to go through one of these LCQs, because there's a chance these could get a little messy, right?
Well, at the beginning of our race, I thought our race was going to be messy. I looked under Ben on lap 4 for the lead, cleared him, but with the caution laps not counting, it got reverted back, so I had to do it all over again. But then after that, we went green to the end, which Matthews ran me down and pressured me a little bit. But honestly, I mean, I think I could have qualified in yesterday if I wouldn't have messed up my lap. But like Trevor said earlier in his interview, I'm actually glad I didn't lock in, because knowing that now, I have a few little things to tweak on for tomorrow, which hopefully I don't fall out of the seat, because that's a whole lot of laps.
Are you actually concerned about falling out of the seat? 250 laps around this place. I mean, I guess a lot of laps consecutively. If you guys run a long green flag run, you get pretty tiring.
Well, I mean, 80 laps there. I mean, it whipped me pretty good. Which, I mean, I still have my hoodie on from work, and I guess the old lady decided that turning the heat to 74 in the middle of that race was a smart idea. So yeah, after that, I had to cool down a little bit, and you know, I'm just glad to be locked in. I know Matthews is pressuring me there at the end, but to hold him off and for us to space ourselves from the field, I'm just glad all my hard work's finally paying off, and it actually went my way for once.
Well, I did the Aftershock Setup Solutions a little ad clip a little bit earlier, and they mentioned that, you know, you're representing the team this year in the Fall Brawl. Do you guys have any other support of guys that are racing with into this race that you've been practicing with, or are you kind of going at it alone this week?
Well, I can't take all of the credit, because I mean, I do have guys over Premier that run supers, which knock on wood, they're undefeated this weekend at Irwindale. Hopefully that doesn't change. But Daniel Pope has turned me 180 degrees around. He hooked me up with a lot of stuff. Any stupid question I ask him, he replies with a response. I know he said that, I think he said his shifter paddle broke or something, and he couldn't shift for the restarts, and that's what kind of hindered him from winning his. But he said he was good. Honestly, if it wasn't for him, I doubt I would have even ran 10th in that qualifier right there. But that guy, he gives me a lot of hope and a lot of speed, and I'm really thankful for him.
A lot of hope, huh?
I mean, yeah, I just don't want to get as old as him that fast, though.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I think that sounds familiar, doesn't it? I like to call him the old man.
Yeah, he is pretty old. I think he's balding a little bit too, but I don't know.
Wow, we're not going to go there. I'm not going to do that. Would never do that to the man.
Oh, I mean, someone's got to.
So Jeff, we're just waiting for practice to finish here. Just about 25 seconds left in warm-ups. These guys probably making a couple changes to those setups. We saw some of the guys slide a little bit. This is a 75-lap LCQ. So it's another long run for these guys. And we saw a driver like Adam Benefield, who had a good car early in the qualifier, was not able to hold his position, fell back late in the race, and probably needs that car to get a little better for this LCQ.
Yeah, as we said, there's 2 LCQs that will be going on, 3 drivers from each one. You are watching LCQ number 2. And 3 drivers will move on. I believe there is a provisional out there as well. So we will have 31 drivers start tomorrow night. And we'll do our best to keep you up to date on what's going on, who makes it in through the other LCQ, and who will be racing in tomorrow night's Fall Brawl 250 lap race. And this is the last chance for a lot of these guys to get in right now. On the pole for this 75 lap LCQ will be the number 8 of Richie Murray. On the outside of him, we watched this guy in the first qualifier, ran top 4 most of the night, fell back outside the top 4 at the end. That's the 83 of Adam Benefiel.
Starting third in that number 41 Fall machine. Wow, look at that thing. That is the 41 of Marco Ercolani. And to his outside in the number 911, that's Brian Korlacki.
Elliot Carlson will start 5th in the number 09 machine. We're waiting for Elliot to grid up here. There he is right now in the 09, the Joker, Elliot Carlson. On the outside of him, starting in the 6th position, will be the 42 Super Zach Onen.
Scott Lamp's going to roll off in the 7th spot in that number 2. That's a race 1 wraps. Number 2 to his outside in the 112. It's Del Mears.
Starting in the, I believe that is the 9th position, the 009 of Colin Murphy in that purple machine. And then on the outside of him, I believe we're going to see, that is going to be the 00 of Mark Welch. So a few drivers not going to join us. It looks like we're missing Bergeron and Eric Steele that aren't going to.
Actually, Burgoyne is he is in the on the grid, Jeff.
Okay, there we are. Matthew Burgoyne of the 38 will join us. So it looks like we lost Eric Steele from our lineup tonight. But Bill Pacecar lights are out, so Richie Murray going to take him to the green flag, and Caleb has left us. He just bailed on us.
He said, "I'm done with this stuff." This broadcasting thing is for the birds. I'm getting back behind the wheel.
Well, if we get a chance, we might also want to talk to our Kyle Souza, who won one of the qualifying races. Kyle, if you're out there watching us right now on Facebook, jump in the Discord. Come talk to us a little bit through the 75 lap LCQ event. Richie Murray, Adam Benefiel going to take him to the green flag. 3 drivers moving on to the Fall Brawl tomorrow night.
Richie Murray going to get a nice jump on that start. Adam Benefiel going to slide into 2nd place. Marco Ercolani is going to be 3rd. First battle on the racetrack is going to be between Elliot Carlson and Zach Onen. Those are teammates in Revelry Racing, so they want to settle down quickly. Now Elliot Carlson going to look underneath Brian Korlacki and the 911, and the 911's going to get loose off the corner. They make contact. Wow, I cannot believe they didn't wreck their cars.
Big save from everybody involved as the 911 is still in trouble. He is up the racetrack. He's going to lose another spot. The 42 is Zach Oden. Here goes Del Mears. Mears going to take it to the outside off turn 4. Not going to be able to get there on the 911. Now Elliot Carlson, he's under pressure from the 2 of Scott Lamb.
You can see Korlacki got big damage from that contact with Elliot Carlson. Safe to say that 09 probably has some damage as well. We have to take a look and see it. His car doesn't look quite as bad, but probably not driving the way he wants. That Korlacki machine, it definitely did something to that 09 cars. Now here comes Scott Lamp to the inside, Elliot Carlson.
Lamp trying to move forward in that number 2 machine. This is the battle for 4th, but this is the battle for 1 spot outside making the race tomorrow night. The first driver not to make the field, he'll pick up a $5 bonus, but I mean, I'd trade that $5 for a spot in the Fall Brawl for sure.
That's right. Some of these guys have points provisionals. Some guys running in these races might have some points provisionals. You don't want to fall back on that. Who knows where you got it now? Lamp's going to get loose off of 4. That's going to collect Matthew Burgoyne. I think maybe Elliot Carlson got some damage. He did on the left front of the 09 as well, but I think Lamp might have just had a all by myself moment.
Yeah, big trouble there for the 2. Just right the center of the corner. You can see it starting to loosen up, and he had that thing full lock to the right, trying to steer out of that one, and that car was just too loose. Goes around off turn 4. A great job by everybody involved to not hit him. Bourgeois barely missed the 2 of Scott Lamp. If we get that replay of the onboard from the 38, that might be a heck of a view.
Yeah, we'll get you that one. We'll just take a look here at Lamp, who gets loose off of turn number 4. Brings out your first caution of this race. Burgoyne, he's definitely got some damage there on the 38, but yeah, we'll give you that shot, Jeff. You want that one, we'll give it to you. We can do those things here.
That's what I want to see.
All right, here's Burgoyne. He's back behind the 009. Really can't see the... Wow. That's reaction time, right? That should be a drag racer.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a nice miss there. Little contact as he went around, but considering where Scott Lamp's car was on the racetrack there, that was That was a close call.
And
So
he really couldn't see him.
No, not at all. So Richie Murray still your leader. Adam Benefield second. The 41 of Mario Urkalani going to restart in that third and final transfer spot. Move Colin Murphy up to fourth, and Colin started ninth, so he was on the move quick there through that one. He was able to avoid all of that chaos. Got up to the fourth spot. Matthew Bourgoin going to restart in the fifth spot. Looks like Zach Onan will restart in sixth. And I believe Del Mears, the 911 of Brian Korlacki, Mark Welch, Elliot Carlson, and Scott Lamp going to rejoin at the rear of the field. Scott went ahead and claimed that caution, so he will get a EOL and start at the rear of the field. So Bill Field is double file, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Richie Murray, Adam Benefield. You got to wonder, Adam Benefield, he had that long run. He ran about 75 laps, was in the top four in that qualifying race. It's got to be tempting to want to adjust the car, but you were pretty good for 75 laps. Do you think he made any adjustments, or is he going to run it what he had last race?
You know, I could never get in the head of a driver, but I do know that Benefield did not have what it took to get out of that race, right? So he needed to finish in the top four. He finished, I believe, sixth. He might have a good enough car to make it through this race to cover the guys he's racing in this race, but you talk to these guys, they want to try this as a test session. He knew what that car needed. He knew what slowed him down. As Urkalani walking up the racetrack almost got into the 009 of Colin Murphy. But Benefield knew what that car needed, Jeff. So I imagine he spent those 10 minutes just making it a little bit better.
Well, Urkalani and the 09 of Colin Murphy battling. Here comes Bourgoin and the 38. He is moving up the inside. And he's going to try to take that spot away from Colin Murphy. Del Mears is trying to line up there on the bottom side of the racetrack as well. And the 009 going to get down in front of him, so he's going to defend that spot. Murphy slots into fifth.
Like you said, Jeff, this is go or go home time. This is the LCQ. All these guys are fighting for a spot in the Fall Brawl tomorrow night. These guys that are running into positions we're taking a look at right now, they're out. Starting with Burgoyne there in the 38 cars. Now Urkalani's going to be sideways off of turn 2 on the back straightaway.
And Urkalani was in a transfer position. He was running third on the racetrack, and he spins out coming off turn 2. And just another situation. That thing started to get sideways mid-corner, and he just never could get it gathered back up. That car just went for the long slide.
Oh. Taking a look up through 1 and 2, and there it is. Car just starts to step out. Going there in 38, no contact whatsoever. I gotta give Urkalani some credit on that car, though. That is fancy.
That is a cool looking car.
That is fancy.
All that chrome, too.
That is.
So second caution of this LCQ on lap 9, and that is going to move Matt Bourgoin into a transfer spot in the 38 machine. And he does have a little damage on the front end of that car. Doesn't seem to be affecting it too much right now. But we know long runs, if this thing goes green into the 75 laps, that could become an issue. Sometimes that damage on the front end of those cars can kind of affect the tire wear a bit.
Absolutely. That's just a situation where you no longer have optimal aerodynamics on the race car and the setup that you've put under the race car. So it's going to change how the tires wear just a bit. And then, like you said, that will get worse as the race rolls on. So Urkalani with his spin, Burgoyne definitely going to benefit from that as he's going to start this restart in third.
Well, again, 3 cars coming out of this LCQ. 3 will come out of LCQ number 1. You are watching LCQ number 2 currently. We'll keep an eye on what's going on in race number 1, which 3 drivers make it out of that. And then, of course, 3 provisionals going to be added to the field to total 31 cars in tomorrow night's Fall Brawl. Those provisionals will be the fastest car that does not transfer, the fastest car from qualifying that does not transfer out of these LCQs will move on to tomorrow's Fall Brawl. One provisional will be awarded for the top driver in the Super Series points, which you watch here live in the Zone Racing on Thursday nights, part of that SARA Super Series. And then 1 provisional at the admin's discretion. So it's basically a promoter's provisional, and we'll get an idea of who's going to pick that up as the pace car is going to go off the racetrack. Richie Murray taking us green flag racing once again.
Murray's going to grab the lead on the restart. Right behind him, Benefield. Burgoyne's going to slot into 3rd in the 38. Right behind him, Colin Murphy in the 009, and Del Mears has moved the 112 up to 5th.
Yeah, we saw Del Mears doing some work on the setup during that last qualifying race, and looks like he might have found something there, and he is starting to come alive here in the LCQ as here comes the 09 of Colin Murphy up the inside of Bourgeois, so a battle for the final transfer.
Colin Murphy in the 009. Or could we call it the U9? As we've got an issue, Jeff, on the front straightaway. It looks like the 00 of Mark Welch went around. Marco Ercolani was stopped as well, but no yellow. That was at the back of the field. Ercolani doesn't look like he has a ton of damage, so he's just going to have to wait for a caution and try to catch the field.
Yeah, and look who is coming to the 2 car, a Scott Lamp, who spun a little bit ago. He is already charging his way underneath the 112 of Del Mears. As he's fighting with Del Mears, the 09 of Colin Murphy and Bourgoin and the 39 are still battling side by side. That's allowing Richie Murray and Adam Benefield to drive away the top 2 cars, pulling away from the field. Del Mears going to lose a spot to Zach Onan. Onan moving up into the 6th position. Mears back to 7th. He's going to lose another spot to Elliot Carlson in the 09.
Elliot Carlson making an appearance back as he's had a lot of damage on that 09 car. Got some of that damage fixed on that left front. Caught in one of the early incidents, and up front actually make that 3rd spot. Battle for the transfer as Burgoyne and Colin Murphy continue to go at it. Side-by-side racing between these two, that's got to be stressful.
Yeah, absolutely. Bourgoin not giving up on the outside line, and Colin Murphy trying to keep it off that 38 car. And it's going to be frustrating to watch the top 2 drive away, and Bourgoin got the wall down the front straightaway. That opens up the door for Scott Lamp. Lamp is going to drive underneath the 38 here. It is a 3-car race for the final transfer. Zach Oden fell back off turn 2. Looked like he got loose and lost some ground.
Scott Lamp looks like he's lit the lamp, Jeff, as he's flying around this racetrack right now. That car was loose earlier. You saw him spin on his own, and he's right on the apron once again, kind of tempting fate for a second time. But, man, that car looks fast as he's driving right through these guys.
Yeah, sometimes you make a mistake like that, and it just fires you up and makes you drive even harder. And here he comes. He is down underneath Colin Murphy for the 3rd and final transfer spot. Murphy going to try to battle back just like Bourgois did on him for several laps. Can he hold on to the outside line?
Murphy to the outside, Lamp on the bottom. Lamp not going to give him a ton of room, kind of squeezed him towards the wall there. Almost some contact coming off of turn number 4, but they'll be side by side through turns 1 and 2. Now Lamp's going to clear down the back straightaway. Here comes Burgoyne to the inside of Colin Murphy as Murphy now stuck on the outside. Here comes Zach Oden to the 42.
Murphy chops the 38. That's going to back everybody up just a bit, and Scott Lamp going to try to drive away with a 3rd and final transfer position. Behind him, Colin Murphy, Matthew Bourgoin, Zachary Onan, Elliot Carlson, Del Mears, and Brian Korlacki. Everybody is lined up nose to tail.
Out front, Richie Murray continues to lead in that 8 car. Adam Benefield right on his back bumper. Hasn't lost the 8 machine. It's there. They pulled away from the field at the moment. Nice gap down the front straightaway. Scott Lamp definitely moving quickly in that number 2. Let's see if he can start closing in on these 2 leaders.
Richie Murray still out front with Adam Benefield chasing him down. And Richie Murray, he almost got the wall down the front straightaway last time by. So I think that 8 car is really feeling the pressure. He got the wall again down the back straightaway. Benefield is really closing the gap here on Richie Murray. And Murray's car just seems a little tight on corner exit.
Tell you what, there's a good race for the lead right now. But that race for 3rd isn't over, Jeff. Colin Murphy's fired up in the 009. He lost that 3rd spot, and he has not left Lamp's back bumper as he is all over the number 2 cars. He wants that transfer spot back.
Yeah, Murphy fell back in line, and now he's starting to put the pressure on Lamp. Lamp got a little sideways into turn 1. We saw Lamp have that issue early where he got loose, spun out, and that 2 car still seems like it might be a bit of a handful right now.
Looks like he's wiggling off turn number 4. Murphy gonna look to the inside, entering turn 1. They'll be side by side. Murphy, he wants the transfer. He's looking to get it as he's the inside of Scott Lamp. Lamp playing defense on the top side as you're watching him slide around in that number 2.
Now it's Lamp on the outside, Murphy on the inside. The battle for the final transfer spot. We are about 30 laps into this thing right now, and it is heating up. We've got a 4-car race for that final transfer as Matthew Bourgoin leaves Zach Onan right behind this side-by-side battle between Colin Murphy and Scott Lamp.
Elliot Carlson is there as well as he's entering this fray as those 2 guys run side by side, making a 5-car battle for the transfer. Everybody trying to figure out their race cars. We're about to get close to halfway here, Jeff, and I think they're starting to find out that, you know, what they have. These cars that we've had some green flag laps. Now we're going to see what you've got, and you're starting to see Zach Onan and Elliot Carlson starting to make their way forward.
Scott Lamp still up the racetrack as Colin Murphy has cleared him now. Matthew Bourgoin on the inside trying to get ahead of the 2 machine of Scott Lamp. And again, the longer that the 39 is not able, or 38 is not able to clear the 2, it just allows the 009 to drive away. And now Bourgoin almost clears Lamp. Now he does. Lamp gonna fall back in line as Zach Onan had a bit of a moment off turn 2, got sideways. That opened up the door for Lamp to get back in line.
Last time Lamp lost positions, he lit the lamp as somebody killed the green cone going through turns 1 and 2. And Lamp was able to pick up some pace and drove right up to the 3rd spot, but Colin Murphy was able to root him off the bottom. And Lamp still looks like he's struggling a little bit in that number 2 as he wiggles off of turn 4.
Matthew Bourgoin trying to reel in Colin Murphy for that 3rd and final transfer spot. He's still bringing along Scott Lamp and Zach Onan. Onan going to try to dive underneath the 2 into turn 1. Not going to get there in time. Now he's got to run off turn 2. He has to back out of it.
It looked like he got the apron, tried to get all the way underneath Scott Lamp. Didn't have enough room. They caught the apron going off and coming off of turn 2. Onan had to back off a little bit as that car got a little bit unsettled. Now he's going to try to put the pressure back on Lamp.
This has been a fun battle for 3rd up front. Richie Murray is being stalked by Adam Benefield. Benefield has not stepped out of line, but he is all over the back end of the 8 machine. He has been there for quite a while, just stalking the leader as the battle continues to rage for that 3rd and final transfer position. Colin Murphy has it. Matthew Bourgoin is trying to take it away.
The reality is, Jeff, we just looked at the speed shot down the back straightaway, and all of the cars between 3rd and 9th are almost nose to tail. Brian Korlacki's actually gotten back into this battle as well in the 911. Del Mears is there, Carlson's there. They're all very, very close for that transfer spot.
Yeah, and the guy that's looking for some help right now is Mario Urcolani, who had that moment on the front straightaway. And there it is. The caution is going to wave, and that'll catch Mario back up as it looks like Elliot Carlson went around off turn 2.
Take a look and see what happened to Elliot. He comes through 1 and 2, and oh, there's a song for that, Jeff.
Yeah, an all-by-myself moment for the 09, and it never really actually spun that thing out, but it was sideways enough in front of Del Mears that it triggered the caution there as Brian Korlacki and Del Mears go around the 09, and Elliot Carlson gonna claim that caution, go to the rear of the field. And I gotta tell you, this is a game changer for Mario Urcolani, who showed a lot of speed. He was in a transfer spot, spun out, had a moment on the restart where he was way behind the field, and now it's gonna close everybody back up. So keep an eye on that 41, because he has got a fast race car, and I don't think he's done yet.
Well, he's actually going to take it to the pits as well. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with the 41 cars. He pulls it into his pit stall. I don't think he has any tires available to him, but maybe some damage on the 41 machine. Just wants to get a couple dents out of that car, get as much speed as he possibly can back in that machine.
Yeah, there could be a chance that maybe guys are taking a little fuel to keep the balance where they're most comfortable with the car, possibly.
Oh, good call, Jeff. Very possible. Jeff, you're showing some of your ex-racing chops. Let's not try to remember those days.
Those days are long gone, aren't they?
Gone. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it?
Well, we are under our third caution here in the 75-lap LCQ. Richie Murray continues to lead ahead of Adam Benefill. Colin Murphy going to restart in that third and final transfer spot. Matthew Bourgoin going to restart fourth. Scott Lamp restarts fifth. Zach Oden will restart sixth. Del Mears coming down pit road. He's going to give up the seventh position to bring that 112 down on the pit road. So move Brian Korlacki up a spot along with Mario Urkalani. Elliot Carlson going to drop to the rear because he was the cause of that caution.
Delmire's quite a bit of damage on the right side of the 112. Oh, and you can see his crew just fixed it. Looked like they threw a fender on that thing. That was interesting. Well, there you go, iRacing. That was pretty neat. That's how damage gets fixed here in iRacing. It's just all of a sudden boink and it's done. We'll stay on the 112 so we can see. You saw him go into the pits with all that damage on the right side, and look at it now. Much, much better. Good choice. I think that's a good choice by Delmire's.
Yeah, gonna give up a couple spots there, but he will get back on to get back in front of Elliot Carlson, who's caused that caution. So here we go. We are doubled up, ready to go green flag racing. 35 laps to go when they cross the line. Richie Murray, Adam Benefield on the front row for this restart. Colin Murphy in the third and final transfer spot. We are back green flag racing, and look at Colin Murphy. He's going to try to get underneath Adam Benefield in turn one. Can't quite get there. Benefield going to hold on to second.
Murphy thought about it, had to back off. Here comes Burgoyne to the outside. Burgoyne going to try to do it the hard way. He says, if you're going to back off on the bottom, I'm going to drive around you, and he's making time right now in the 38 car.
Yeah, it works well on those restarts. The outside does have a little bit of an advantage getting wound up the speed there. But as the race goes on, that inside line starts to come to life just a bit. But if you can pinch the guy enough on the bottom to keep him way down the racetrack, there's a chance that you might be able to clear. And that's what Matthew Bourgoin is trying to do in that 38 machine. He is inching ahead right now of Colin Murphy.
Scott Lamp wasn't doing Colin Murphy any favors through 1 and 2 that time. Looked like he might have gotten in the back bumper. The 009 as you're watching Matthew Burgoyne. He's going to go around the outside. That's a power move right now. If you watch him actually clear the 009. Now Murphy going to look to the inside, and Burgoyne is gone. Wow, takes a spot on the top.
Nice job by the 38 machine, but he got up the racetrack there in turn 3. That opens up the door. Now Lamp got into the back of the 09, and that's going to move Murphy up the racetrack. Here comes Lamp. He's looking for fourth.
Of course Burgoyne was to the top, Jeff. That's the fast way around. Didn't you know that? He just showed that off.
Lamp is having a battle here with Colin Murphy for the fourth spot behind them. Zach Oden's trying to find a way past both of these guys because he's watching the third place car drive away, and that's the final transfer.
Now they're going to make contact. They're going to go to the wall. Oh, and Elliot Carlson cannot avoid. He was on the high side.
Del Mears and I believe Brian Korlacki went around at the same time. Korlacki's going to continue on, but multiple incidents going on there as Colin Murphy and Scott Lamp got together, ended up in the outside wall. Behind them, there was Korlacki was spinning along with Del Mears. So a lot to unpack there for this fourth caution of this LCQ.
We'll see if we can take a look. That's heartbreak for those two drivers. They were right there battling for that transfer. So you can watch Lamp up the racetrack and just... Murphy does. I don't think Murphy's doing anything wrong there. He's just kind of the top side. Lamp just walks up the racetrack in the 2 and gets in the 09, and it just turns the car right and just takes them to the outside wall. And then Elliot Carlson, not sure what happened with the 09 driver there. Just cars are parked, man.
Yeah, it looked like Lamp up the racetrack, and once he made contact with Colin Murphy, it's like they hooked bumper to rear quarter panel. And it drove Lamp's car up the racetrack into the outside wall. A lot of damage on all of those cars, along with Elliot Carlson, who came piling in there. And then going back, it looked like Korlacki might have spun as well, or nearly spun going into turn 1. And that triggered an incident there with Del Mears going around.
Oh, that's what Elliot Carlson was avoiding.
So Elliot was up the racetrack trying to avoid Del Mears.
Man. Oh, poor Elliot. I feel bad now that I was like, what was he doing? Well, let's check out what he was doing. He was avoiding Korlacki and Mears. I said, oh, I got damage from that. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that was not good. Let's see if we can see it from his view. That'll be interesting.
Well, it looks like Elliot Carlson gonna lose a lap here on pit road along with Colin Murphy. So those two not looking like they're gonna have a chance to make it into the Fall Brawl from their LCQ. Mark Welch is officially out of this race. He has called it a night. We'll finish 11th in this LCQ as we are double file ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Richie Murray, Adam Benefield, now Matthew Bourguin in the third and final transfer spot. Green Flag is out. Murray is off and away, and he got another fantastic restart.
Murray grabs the lead over Benefield. Burgoyne's going to take third. Zach Onan running fourth. Here comes Ercolani trying to rally in the 41 machine as he is back to fifth. See, everybody got nose to tail very quickly in this field. Richie Murray, man, he is locked in the bottom as he had the left side tires right on that white line. Everybody nose to tail, everybody right together as we just had a restart. You see Burgoyne getting loose off of turn number 4. That's what Zach Onan wants to see, as Onan wants to get up there and pressure for that transfer spot.
And Bill, look who is back in the mix in the 5th spot, Mario Ercolani, who is about half a track behind the field at one point in this race. He has now worked his way back into the 5th spot, and he is trying to claw his way back into a transfer position.
Well, he's got work to do in that beautiful fall car, and I don't think there's any of us that don't want to see that car run tomorrow night, because that is a cool machine. He's got work to do as he's loose off of turn 4.
Scott Lamp sideways off turn 4 as well. He's feeling a lot of pressure from Del Mears. That 2 car has got a lot of damage, and I can't imagine that it's a very comfortable car to race right now for Scott Lamp.
That Race 1 Raps car is a pretty machine. It does not look like he's holding the pretty wheels. That car seems to be all over the place.
Oh, Richie Murray spinning off turn 2. Trouble for the leader. It looked like contact from Adam Benefield. And Richie Murray is now spun. The caution is going to wave. And I can't believe it. If you're Richie Murray, you've got to be just speechless right now.
You know what? We're speechless too, Jeff. That's... All right, let's take a look at the replay here. And we're going to actually pick this up as we come off turn 4 because Benefield was actually attempting a pass. So here we are coming through 3 and 4. Richie Murray up the racetrack a little bit. Benefield gets a run.
It looked like Benefield washed up.
Gets the left rear of the 8 car. Zach Onan into the outside wall.
You know, to me, it looks like Richie gave him the room. And Benefield's car just kind of washed up off the corner.
See if we can get a better look at this one as we saw him attempt the pass. And here's Murray. Yeah, Benefield just gets the left rear, but whether it be... I mean, it's tough to see from camera angles. I don't want to speculate anything. These guys have to deal with a lot of stuff here when they're driving these cars, but clearly contact between your 2 leaders. And unfortunately, a couple cars caught in that. I will say Matthew Burgoyne looks like he does a fantastic job. But here we'll see Zach Onan will get into the outside walls. He had to lock it down, and Ercolani got into the back of Onan pretty hard as well. So those guys probably going to get some damage from this incident. Oh yeah.
Well, the good news for the guys that just picked up some damage, they're not the only cars in this field that now have damage. I think just about everybody's taking a shot here, so it's a battle of attrition at this point.
We're taking a look right now, Jeff.
Adam Benefield going to go to the rear of the field for causing that caution. So Matthew Bourguin going to move to the race lead. And he started 11th in this LCQ. He has been in the middle of a lot of it. And he is now your race leaders. Super Zach Onan up into the 2nd spot. Mario Ercolani going to take the 3rd and final transfer spot here on this restart. Scott Lamp, who is battling with a ton of damage in that 2 machine, going to restart 4th. Del Mears 5th. Richie Murray, who was just spun from the lead, going to restart 6th. Elliot Carlson, I believe, is back on the lead lap, so he will restart in the 7th position, along with Brian Korlacki, who will restart 8th.
And these cars are so very equal, Jeff. We saw everybody was very close to the same speed, and now, like you said, everybody has damage, so this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, keep an eye on Adam Benefield, who's going to be charging from the back of this field. We know that 83 car has got a lot of speed. He was possibly the fastest car in this field.
There's no damage on his car.
And we are back to Green Flag Racing. Not a great restart for Zach Onan, who is under pressure now from Mario Urkalani going into turn 1. Urkalani, remember, he spun from 3rd place early on in this race, and he's fought his way back into the mix here.
Oh, we saw Burgoyne earlier was able to make a move on the outside, was able to take 3rd, the final transfer spot while on the outside. Now, can Zach Onan do the same thing as Urkalani's going to look to the inside, try to take 2nd away? Here comes Scott Lamp in that wreck number 2. He's doing a great job as he gets loose off of turn 2.
Zach Onan gets in line in front of the 2 as Scott Lamp, but Lamp's going to try to battle back off turn 4. Richie Murray is all over Lamp as well. He's ducking and diving, trying to work his way through traffic right now.
You can see Zach Onan driving the wheels off the 42 as that car was sideways off of turn 2. Scott Lamp is right there on the bumper. Everybody's right there. Del Mears going to be sideways, and he's going to get loose and spin down the front straightaway.
Mears around, caution, going to wave on lap 56. Brian Kurlacki is around in turn 3 as well, so trouble for the 911. Not sure what happened to Kurlacki. This is we talked to Caleb right before. I think I said use the term messy. This could get messy, and we're seeing that right now.
About to unpack what happened. Oh, so Mears just apron driving in the 112. That got him loose. Benefield really couldn't do much as Mears kind of slid up in front of him with a loose race car. We'll take a look from the different shot here.
Yeah, Del Mears actually claimed that caution, so I think he felt like he was probably going to go around well before the contact from Adam Benefield. So Adam's going to appreciate that Del is going to go ahead and step up and take that one.
We'll take a look and see what happened to Korlacki as well, as he was spun out on the back straightaway. Oh, he looks like he had contact with Elliot Carlson. Looks like he just gets up in the left rear, and well, it's kind of the same thing that happened earlier with Benefield. But this time the inside car ends up going around.
Yeah, they kind of got hooked together again. A little contact, they get hooked together, and Elliot Carlson kind of comes down the racetrack, and they just kind of go for a little bit of a ride there. So Matthew Bourgoin going to restart your leader. Mario Urkalani will restart 2nd. Zach Onan now has that 3rd and final transfer position. He's going to try to hold off Scott Lamp, who will restart 4th. And 2 of the faster cars in this field are going to restart in that 3rd row. That's Richie Murray and Adam Benefield. Those guys were running 1-2 just a little bit ago. Elliot Carlson going to restart in the 7th position. And then I believe we're going to see Brian Korlacki restart 8th. Del Mears 9th. Well, Bill, time is starting to tick away. We were within 20 laps to go in this LCQ, and these guys they got some damage to deal with. Just about every car has taken a shot here or there. So, I mean, at this point, the gloves are off, right? You've got to get into this fall brawl, and you need to be in the top 3 if you want to guarantee yourself into the show.
Yeah, there is no... I mean, you said it. We said it from the very beginning. The gloves were pretty much off at the very beginning of this race. Like you said, it got a little bit messy. It has been a little bit messy, but you got to go now. But you can't get sent to the back, so you got to be very careful with your moves. But here we go. Matthew Burgoyne's going to get a good restart. Zach Onan, not so much on the bottom there. It's in 3rd. Urkalani's going to be to the outside. We'll be side by side for the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Brawl is loving this as he drives away. It looked like Scott Lamp got the back straightaway wall that time, down the back straightaway. Here comes the 8 of Richie Murray. He's going around Scott Lamp for the 4th spot. Mario Urcolani stuck on the outside. Can he do anything with this 42 of Zach Oden? They are side by side for the 2nd position.
Oden just looks super, super loose in that 42. You almost can't keep that car down as Urcolani's going to get shoved up the racetrack. Here comes Richie Murray in the 8. Richie Murray doesn't have a whole lot of damage on that 8 car. He might be benefiting from that, but he was a fast car as well. Look behind him. Here comes Adam Benefield, who's rallying, and now we're going 3 wide and 3 and 4.
Scott Lamp trying to stick it 3 wide up the middle. That's going to put Zach Oden way up the racetrack. He's going to lose several spots. Here comes Elliot Carlson. He's trying to fight his way back into this one.
Elliot Carlson, a bunch of damage on the 09, but the cream has risen back to the top as Richie Murray's jumped to the 2nd spot. Benefield up to 3rd. And now we've got a spinner. Urcolani off of turn 4. That has not brought out the yellow yet. He might be the last car in the race that he'll actually eject, so he will be out of the race. Mario Urcolani has parked the number 41.
As a heartbreaker for Mario Urcolani, who is very fast and fought his way back into a chance to race in the Fall Brawl, and it looks like his night is going to come to an end, and he's going to be hoping for a provisional spot to start the Fall Brawl as Adam Benefield dives underneath Richie Murray. This is a battle for 2nd. Matthew Barlon has checked out on the field with the race lead. Murray's going to fall back into that 3rd and final transfer spot. He's got Scott Lamp behind him trying to chase them down, but Lamp is dealing with a ton of damage to that number 2 car.
And that car is sliding everywhere with just over 12 laps remaining. Lamp just cannot find any grip in the 2. I'm not sure he has the pace to get to those guys. As now, Zach Onen's got issues in turns 1 and 2. He got sideways, ended up on the apron, and now he's going to fall back along with Del Mears.
Well, Barwan is checked out. It is 1.5 seconds back to Adam Benefield in 2nd. Richie Murray currently runs 3rd. Scott Lamp in the 4th position on the outside looking in. That spot is worth $5, but you'd rather race tomorrow night than take the $5 tonight.
I mean, unless you're not going to get any money at all, Chad. No, I'm kidding.
The good news for Scott Lamp is he was a pretty high qualifier. As Elliot Carlson is spinning in 1 and 2, that is going to bring out another caution. We are going to restack him once again. And man, if you're Matthew Berglon, you did not want to see that because he was checked out.
He's done a fantastic job in that 38 car. We didn't even know if we would see him. You didn't know if he had joined the grid on the at beginning of the race. And here he is, just dominating this event. Pick up Elliot Carlson as he heads down the front straightaway. He's trying to close in on Scott Lamp, and looks like he just got it a little hot in turn 1, and the 09 goes around.
Yeah, just trying to break down this field of who might be eligible for provisional. Scott Lamp did have a pretty good qualifying effort. Of the drivers that I see in this field, he would be the highest qualifier. So he does have that working for him. Of course, there is another LCQ, and a guy who qualified better than him could miss out on that race. So you just never know. If you're Scott, you have a chance. You have some hope, even if you don't finish in the top 3. But the only way to guarantee it is make sure you finish top 3 in this race. So we will restart with Matthew Barguan, your leader, Adam Benefield 2nd, Richie Murray 3rd, Scott Lamp 4th, Zach Oden 5th, Del Mears 6th, Brian Korlacki 7th. Looks like Elliot Carlson going to get his way back onto the racetrack. He will restart 8th. We have lost Mario Urcolani, Colin Murphy, and Mark Welch from this race. They'll finish 9th, 10th, and 11th respectively. So, Bill, it looks like we're going to go back to green flag racing with about 8 laps to go. And if you're on that outside where Adam Benefield is, it's been really hard for those guys on the outside front row to time these restarts. The leader has had such an advantage all night long. And right now, Adam Benefield, he needs the restart of his life because he needs to make sure that he doesn't fall back here and fall outside the top 3.
I mean, that's the goal, right, Jeff? He's got to finish in the top 3. I think the danger to him is Zach Onen, but Zach Onen's car has looked really, really loose. I mean, Scott Lamp stuck on the outside, so Onen might be the guy that can shoot forward and steal one here. He's definitely got work to do.
Adam Benefield, he was, I believe, the 14th fastest qualifier in all of qualifying. So he does have a little bit to work with here, and he is falling back as it looks like Scott Lamp going to dive underneath him here for that 3rd and final transfer spot. Can Benefield fight back on the outside as Matthew Bourgoin is checked out? Benefield will clear Scott Lamp.
He'll clear him, but he's still there. Scott Lamp to the bumper of Benefield. Can he give him a bumper? How bad do you want it, Scott Lamp? That's me inciting violence, Jeff. I think that's kind of what happened there.
Lamp is trying to get there, but again, just a lot of damage to that car, and I don't think it's got the speed that it once had, but he's doing everything he can with it as the top 3 are trying to pull away from Scott Lamp. We've got 6 laps to go now as Matthew Bourgoin out front, stretching his lead over Richie Murray.
We're watching that transfer spot. Like you said, Jeff, Scott Lamp's car just has too much damage. That number 2 looked like he needed to spend a little bit more time in the pits fixing that car. We saw what Del Mears was able to do that 1-1-2 after some incidents. Maybe Lamp would have had a shot at that point, but that car just doesn't have the pace right now. It's like the top 3 starting to break away.
Del Mears just got around Zach Onen to move him up into the 5th position. Mears trying to rally late, but time is running out right now for the 112.
Not a whole lot of time, just about 3 laps remaining in this race. Del Mears going to need a caution. Might be able to do something with that 1-1-2. He's looking pretty quick. Definitely needs a yellow.
Yeah, he's going to need some help here if he can get around Scott Lamp. Again, that is for a $5 non-transfer position right there. As the top 3 is starting to pull away from Lamp. Lamp is really starting to fade here as this run goes on. Mears has a run on Scott Lamp. He's going to dive underneath him, going down the back straightaway into turn 3. He'll be there. Off turn 4, Matthew Bourgoin going to see the white flag. 1 more lap to go, and he'll be in the Fall Brawl.
So Del Mears looking for that $5. He's going to try to put a move on Scott Lamp.
Yeah, and if you're Del Mears, this is also a way of saying, hey, I'm fast enough to race the Fall Brawl. Can I have the promoter's provisional? And off turn 4, Matthew Bourgoin going to win the LCQ. He's going to move on to the Fall Brawl along with Richie Murray, along with Adam Benefield. Del Mears is going to come up 1 spot short. And now he's going to have to plead his case to the admins that, hey, I should be in.
Definitely showed some pace there at the end of that race as he drove through the field up to that 4th spot. But the good news is if they don't give him an opportunity to race in the race, Jeff, he's $5 richer. Or,
yeah,
something like that.
Absolutely. I think we might see Scott Lamp make it in based on qualifying. I still haven't seen the results of LCQ number 1 just yet, but I think there might be a chance for Scott Lamp to still make this race.
Well, Matt Rolfe might give me a. They calculate very quickly over here. It's always amazing to me. But he might give me a shot at figuring out who gets in and who doesn't get in, and I'm sure he's probably listening. So if Matt, you do figure it out, shoot me a message. Let me know.
Well, Matt is giving them a final talk to here, and then we're trying to get Matthew Bourgoin over into our broadcast here so we can talk to him, and we'll see if he makes his way over.
One thing we are going to ask him, Jeff, is how do you say your last name?
All right, well, we're going to get a chance because he is joining us. And Matthew, first off, the first thing I'm going to ask you is how do we pronounce your last name correctly? Because I'm guessing it's French, right?
Yeah, it's Bourgoin.
Ah, I win $5.
Oh, you had it,
I should get $5. Come on now. That's good stuff.
All right, Matthew, you made it into the Fall Brawl. You win the LCQ. You had to do it the hard way. You started dead last in this LCQ. You survived all the chaos. What was it like trying to get through all of that was going on in front of you all night long?
We definitely had some close calls there. Got some pretty good damage down the left front. Had a little bit of motor damage, and the thing was made it really, really tight. Really happy was able to hold on and be as strong as we were at the end. But I gotta thank Matt for letting me join in late. I missed the qualifying races because I was doing a league race that ran a little bit behind there, and kind of nerve-wracking to have to start last in the LCQ. But we had a good setup, and even with the damage, we're still able to pull it off.
We'll talk about it, Matthew. What does it mean to actually make it into the Fall Brawl? Clearly, with the league race and things like that, you're probably running for a championship somewhere. That's why you were able to, or you missed out on a qualifying race. But you're in the Fall Brawl. That's got to be pretty exciting, right? I mean, it's got to feel pretty good.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is going to be one of the biggest races of the year, except for maybe a snowball derby one, but this is definitely really hard to get into, and I'm happy we were able to make it.
Well, it looked like at the end there, you had quite a bit of pace, even with the damage that you had suffered to the left front of that car. You had quite a bit of pace. You were pulling away from Richie Murray and Adam Benefield. Does that give you some hope for tomorrow? I mean, I know you're going to be starting pretty deep, but you got to feel pretty good about what the setup you have is going to do tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I actually think we gotta make a couple of changes for the long run. That was definitely you always get caught up in trying to go faster and doing a bunch of short runs, and it's nice to get a long run in it and realize that we gotta make some changes. But I gotta thank Devin and Landry and Max Cookson for helping me out with the setup and stuff, putting time in. And I think we'll have an okay piece. I think you'll see some comers and goers for the next race. We got people that fire off really fast, and some people that come in late, except for McCollum. He's just gonna be fast. I don't know. That guy's just so good. He's gonna be fast the whole race, but we'll try.
Well, Matthew, talk a little bit about you named some drivers that are giving you some aid. You have some aid. You have no stickers on the race car, no team affiliation. It appears. Who do you want to thank? Who's helping you out here? What got you this speed?
Yeah, just big thanks to Devin, Landry, and Max Cookson. And I actually got to thank. I was supposed to run I think my paint scheme, my traded paint's messed up there, but I got to thank Main Sim Racing Series for coming on for this race. And yeah, just me, Max, and Devin putting a bunch of time, and we'll see what we can get.
Well, that shines some light on it for us there. Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate it. Like,
Well,
who is this guy?
Well, Matt, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us, and we appreciate it. Congratulations on making the Fall Brawl. You showed up here in the LCQ and you made it in. Congratulations. Heck of a run from dead last.
Thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow after the race. That'd be pretty sweet.
That's
At
the
least
goal.
hopefully hear from me or Max or somebody. But
Well, congratulations, Matthew, and like you said, hopefully we'll be able to give you a shot tomorrow.
sounds good. Thank you guys.
Well, Bill joining us now, the guy who finished second in our LCQ, and Richie Murray had a fantastic run. And Rich, there was a point in that race where you got spun from the lead, and you had to be thinking, like, are you kidding me? Are you going to take me out of the Fall Brawl right now?
Yeah, no, I to be completely honest, I've had my fair share of bad luck the past couple races I've run in SARA, so I wasn't entirely upset because I've had worse happen, but I wasn't what you call happy.
So what does it mean to you to get in the Fall Brawl, though, Richie? I mean, you had the win. We thought you were gone, right? And there's just a little bit of a contact issue, and you drive back through the field. What does it mean to get into the Fall Brawl?
Oh, it's still huge. This is the first time I've made it into one of these. I've tried 2 or 3 times already, and I haven't made it into one of them, and I finally made it in. So, definitely still plenty I can improve upon on the car. So, hopefully, I can have as good of a showing as I did in this race in the Fall Brawl.
Well, Richie, you've got 175 laps tonight on the car and on your setup. Do you think you found anything? Have you learned anything that's going to help you tomorrow night that you can go adjust on the car now?
Setups, make that plural. I changed the car completely around from the heat race to the LCQ to try to fix that. It seemed like it worked. Like I said, there's still plenty I can improve upon. Like I'm looking at the replays and I'm still bottoming out. I'm hitting the track on every corner on every single lap. So that's speed right there. Still tight, so I can loosen up the car. That's more speed. Hopefully I can fix those and have a good showing from the back tomorrow.
So coming out of the LCQ, Richie, what is the goal for tomorrow night? What do you want to accomplish? I mean, obviously everybody wants to win the race, but a realistic goal for the number 8 car. How far forward do you want to try to make it by the end of the night? Don't say win, but what's the realistic goal?
Well, I'm hoping to pass as many cars as I can, but let's see. I'll probably be starting somewhere around like 28th. Top 10 would be a solid day. I would be absolutely ecstatic with a top 5. If I can
that's a solid goal, Richie.
Yeah. If I can get a top 10, I'll be happy. If I can drive all the way from like 28th or 29th or wherever I'm starting to a top 5, I will be absolutely ecstatic.
Well, starting so deep in the race, it's 250 laps. It's a race that you guys that you have tires, and you guys don't necessarily race a lot of races where you get tire pit strategy. Starting that far in the back, do you feel like it opens up the door for you to kind of throw a weird strategy out there and maybe see if it works?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I have a much better chance of pulling off a different strategy than the leaders do, because when you're in the front, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever you don't want to lose track position to the guys in front of you. If you're in the top 10, you don't want to give up that track position. From where I'm sitting, what I'm looking at, I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I'm gonna try whatever the hell I want to try to get this to work.
That's a great idea. So Richie, who are you the one? I mean, you were talking about the changes you need to make on the race car. Is there anybody you want to thank, or are you kind of a lone wolf out here?
I'm a lot more of a lone wolf than most of the guys on the field. But yeah, no, the setup that I'm running is, I'd say basically like at least 95% my own. And to be honest, I gave 2 cars in the field a setup of mine, and they both made it in earlier than me. So I kind of had a chip on my shoulder that I was the last one to make it in on my own setup, and so I had a point to prove here, and I think I did that.
Did you want to release the names, or you want to keep that secret?
I'll leave that to myself.
Good stuff.
Well, Richie, congratulations on making it into the Fall Brawl. We'll see your race tomorrow night. Before we let you go, is there anybody you need to shout out right now? Anybody you need to thank?
I don't have any people sponsoring me on iRacing, so I'll just call my real life sponsors. Trucker and Auto Parts, Helga South Coast Power Equipment, Supreme Marketing, Sousa Media, and Built Right Homes. Yeah.
All right, Richie, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations on racing tomorrow night in the Fall Brawl. We can't wait to see you. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, thank you. Good talking to you.
Well, that is going to do it for night number 2. And I'm looking, I believe we got some results here from the other LCQ. Who is going to transfer on? It's going to be Austin Thiel, Garrett Conrath, and Jason Warren going to transfer out. So Craig Tolley, the first driver to miss out of the first LCQ. And I believe Jeffrey Souza did not make it. Rick Rube, Kyle Storm, Devin Rogers, Brad Carpenter, and Willie Howells. Again, 3 provisionals available. And I think just quick looking at it, it looks like Scott Lamp might be in the running for that qualifying provisional. We'll have to see what happens with the points provisional for the Super Series. I don't know if a Super Series driver did not make it out of LCQ, so we'll see how that happens. And then, of course, the provisional for the promoters. The promoters will get to put 1 driver in, and I think a couple guys are going to make their case for that tonight, that, you know, they were fast and maybe deserve a shot.
I wonder how you build that case. I don't know. It's going to be interesting as we move forward. I was hoping we would get kind of a cue on who's in and who's not in with those different those last few spots, but it sounds like that's not going to happen. But other good news in the world of sim racing, Jeff. Guess what's working?
What is working?
Facebook's working.
Are we live on Facebook now?
We are live on Facebook. We are back on the Sim Auto Racing Association page and the In the Zone Racing page. So we apologize for all the technical issues that we had earlier.
It went up 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago. We were an hour and 45 minutes, a little too late.
It appears that everything is back to normal.
Well, that was we apologize for everybody that had to watch on YouTube or Twitch that didn't get to see it on Facebook tonight. I'm thinking this might have been on Facebook's end, but we'll leave it at that.
Can confirm, Jeff. Can confirm.
But thank you.
I did spend some time while we were doing all these things in the background trying to figure out why this wasn't working, and I found out why. And it was on Facebook's end. So we are fixed for tomorrow night. So we should be good to go. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we apologize, and we have that running. And of course, you can look forward to the broadcast tomorrow night. And I think we're going to go live just a little bit earlier tomorrow night, correct, Jeff? The 250.
Yeah, I believe we're going to have a
very long race.
We're going to have a little bit of a pre-race show. I think we wanted to talk to some guys that we haven't got to talk to this week. There's some of those guys that just been hanging around watching the races. I've seen Dylan Bates hanging around and a few other guys that are locked in tonight. Of course, Matt Rolfe is hanging around because he's doing a lot of work here to get this thing going. And he'll race tomorrow in that top 10. He's already locked in. So we'll definitely try to talk to as many people as we can tomorrow night before the race gets going. And of course, before we sign off, I got to shout out a few sponsors, race1wraps.com for sponsoring this qualifying night, Wednesday night, as we head into the Fall Brawl tomorrow night. H&H Sign Supply, the premier sponsor of the Fall Brawl. Thank you so much. Remember, if you're looking for anything to do with vinyl sign making, head over to hhsignsupply.com. Use a code SARA15 for 15% off your entire order. And if you're in the business of doing wraps or vinyl at 15%, it's some money back in your pocket. So take advantage of that, please. Aftershock Setup Solutions, thank you for sponsoring Monday night's Pull Night Awards. Caudal Capture, SimWrap Market, who's going to put up $50 tomorrow for the hard charger. And SimWrap Market also, if you wanted a new paint scheme for your iRacing car, they're doing 10% off. If you use the code RACESARA this week, make sure you head over there, check them out. Best Overhead Doors, thank you for all your support, and of course Matt Rolfe and the SARA series, and make sure you go check out his SARA Super Late Model Next Gen templates. They are top notch. They're the ones I use when I paint cars, so make sure you go over there and check those out. It's like $5 and you get the best template there is on iRacing for the Super Late Model. Help support SARA and all that Matt Rolfe and those guys do for sim racing. It's much appreciated. But Bill, I mean, I think we're done for tonight, and now we just gotta look forward to tomorrow night. 250 laps with the best of the best in iRacing Super Late Models.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm excited. It's gonna be fantastic. We've seen some great racing over 2 nights. That dash last night, Jeff, that 50 lapper with the 10 cars for the top 10, that was amazing. And we're gonna watch those guys really play some strategy. They've learned some more tonight over these longer races. And tomorrow night, 250 laps. And man, I think we should open up like one of those dirt draft or like like a wager system. That would be fantastic, right? We could get some people in on that. But it's gonna be really fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a starting lineup at some point for you tomorrow during the day. So keep an eye on that. Again, I believe we're going to go a little bit earlier. I know the race is scheduled to start about 9 p.m. Eastern. I think we're going to fire off our broadcast a little bit earlier than that. Look for an announcement on Facebook. But again, race is going to start 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a little bit earlier than we've been starting here. It's a 250 lap race. Make sure you're with us tomorrow night on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Follow our Facebook page. Make sure you go over to the Sim Auto Racing Association Facebook page, like their page as well. Follow along with what's going on here in the Fall Brawl and the SARA Super Series. And Bill, again, here we go. We're 2 nights in, and next up is the main event for the Fall Brawl.
250 laps. It's going to be worth the watch. So I don't know. Again, put your wagers. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Can anybody take down Alex McCollum? He was almost unbeatable last night. Drove through the field in the dash, and he's gonna be starting from the pole. So you're gonna have to get around him. And he talked about it last night. It's gonna be maybe strategy, maybe speed. We'll see what happens. But I think going into tomorrow night, you're gonna look at the number 1 as the man to beat. Everybody's shooting for him, and then we'll go forward from there. You've got absolute great drivers in this field. I can't even name all of them, but you've got Cole Cabry on the outside, Parker Traves is there, Ryan Coons in the field. I mean, it's going to be amazing, and you shouldn't miss it. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, 250 laps. What else are you doing? Just come here and watch 250 laps of really good iRacing.
Absolutely. So thank you so much to everybody that hung out with us on YouTube and Twitch. Sorry that our Facebook stream came up so late again. That is going to be, that's already fixed. We will be ready to be on Facebook tomorrow night. Thank you to everybody for hanging out with us, and make sure you're joining us tomorrow night. The Fall Brawl, the H&H Sign 8th Annual Supply Fall Brawl Spectacular tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's firing off. And of course, we're going to have a little bit of a pre-race show for you. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, and we'll see you tomorrow night.